What ridiculous skill saved your life? At 8 years old, I celebrated my birthday in the middle of a winter storm, outside, looking at the clouds, when I realized I could hardly feel cold. When my parents unlocked the door and allowed me back inside, I wasn't even cold in the slightest. I didn't shiver once. I was completely fine. My doctor said it was Raynaud's syndrome gone wrong. Essentially, I evolved. My blood vessels grew stronger from the years of punishment. So instead of my circulation getting cut off, my body learned to use my blood in ways that kept me warm. I tested it first by sitting outside in a t-shirt for an hour. Nothing. Then I held ice cubes until they melted. My skin stayed pink. Home was a special kind of hell where every mistake meant getting locked outside. Forgot to wash a dish meant 2 hours on the porch. Talking back meant overnight. They loved winter because they knew it hurt more. My mom had severe allergies and kept the house sealed tight. My dad had arthritis from construction work and needed constant warmth for his joints. They ran the heat at 75 degrees and would scream if anyone touched the thermostat. So I started small. I'd crack the bathroom window behind the shower curtain just a quarter inch. They'd wake up congested and stiff but blamed it on weather changes. Then I got creative. I dampened spots on their closet walls with a spray bottle. Within 2 weeks, black mold was growing behind my mom's shoes. Her allergies went insane. She tried everything but never thought to look behind her precious designer collection. The car was almost too easy. Dad warmed it up every morning at 6 a.m. sharp. I'd sneak out at 5:30 and adjust his heating vents to blow sideways. Then I'd crack his driver window just enough to create a draft on his hands. By the time he got to work, his arthritis was so bad he couldn't hold his tools. It must be this damn weather, he'd mutter while I nodded sympathetically. But everything changed in January when they went to Hawaii and left me behind. Not with a relative or friend, just left. They disconnected the internet and took the cable box. Left $40 on the counter and a note that said, "Don't burn the house down." 7 days alone in the middle of winter. I was 13. That's when I decided to destroy them. I went to the hardware store and bought supplies with their emergency cash. Spray bottles and timers and portable fans. I spent those 7 days setting up my system. I put wet towels in the heating vents so they'd blow damp, cold air for the first 10 minutes every cycle. I cracked windows in every room but hid them behind furniture and curtains. I sprayed water on every closet wall and under every carpet edge. I even figured out how to make the smart thermostat randomly drop 5 degrees at night by messing with its programming. When they came back tanned and relaxed, I was ready. Within a week, the mold was everywhere but only in their spaces. My room stayed perfectly dry. Mom's allergies got so severe she couldn't breathe lying down. She'd sit up gasping all night while Dad complained his joints were too stiff to sleep. They fought constantly about who kept changing the temperature and leaving windows open. I made it worse every time they punished me. Locked me out for an hour and I'd soak their mattress edge with cold water. Take away dinner and I'd put ice packs in the heating vents. They installed cameras to catch who was messing with the house, but I knew every blind spot. They hired inspectors who found mold but couldn't explain why it was only in the master bedroom and closet. Weird ventilation issue? One guy said while I stood there looking worried. By March, they were broken. Mom's doctor ordered her to move somewhere dry for her health. Dad's arthritis got so bad he went on disability. They had to sell the house at a loss because of the mysterious mold problem that kept coming back. The day before we moved, Dad found me sitting on the porch where he'd locked me out 100 times. "I know it was you," he said. His hands were too swollen to make a fist. I pulled my coat tighter even though I wasn't cold. "I don't know what you're talking about. You're the one who said I was too weak to handle winter." They split up after the move. Mom went to Arizona and Dad moved in with his brother who kept the heat even higher. I went to live with my grandmother who never once locked me outside. I stopped being afraid of the cold until 3 months later, that is, because that's when my grandmother kicked me out. My parents had sent her evidence that I was a psychopath. Full story on channel, link below.